One thing that is clear from Labour's conference is that there is no consensus on the way through Brexit. Aberavon MP Stephen Kinnock is part of the MPs for a Deal group, and he joins me from Brighton now. You must be planning your way back to London, Stephen Kinnock.
That's right. The bags are packed, Adrian, and I'll be leaving very early tomorrow morning to make sure that I'm in Parliament on those green benches when we start at 11:30.
I want to talk to you about Labour's Brexit position. Well, positions, I think it's fair to say. Are you happy with the UK Labour stance as agreed on the conference floor?
Well, I've been saying for a long time now that I think we should have stuck to our guns. What we set out in our 2017 manifesto is that Labour would respect the result of the referendum, but make sure we leave with a deal. And I'm afraid that since 2017, we've muddied the waters, we've shifted our Brexit position from one foot to another, and I'm afraid we end up confusing the electorate. So I hope that we can actually get a deal and leave the European Union on the basis of that deal, and then have a general election, which is really about the issues that people on the doorstep want to talk about: jobs, education, safety in our communities, the future of our communities, the future of our children in Wales and across the United Kingdom. And I think, if we have a general election in the shadow of Brexit, it's very difficult to do.
And in that context, and as a Welsh Labour MP, how do you feel about Welsh Labour's stated position of not remaining neutral, not the position you describe, but equivocally in favour of remain?
Well, the challenge is, if it's going to be a Labour government negotiating a new Brexit deal, are we then going to end up coming back and campaigning against the deal that we've just done? If it's a position on for example, if Boris Johnson does come back with a deal, I think that parliamentarians should then have the opportunity to amend it. And those colleagues who are campaigning for a second referendum would, of course, be welcome to do so. And if there is a majority in Parliament for a referendum, of course, we must respect the will of the House and have that referendum. So in a sense, there's a bit more logic to the position that Mark Drakeford has set out. But nevertheless, my view remains that we should have stuck to our guns, stuck to the principles that we set out in the 2017 manifesto, because we're the only party that can strike that compromise and begin to reunite our deeply divided country.
And 2017 is one thing, but the general election could be a matter of weeks, if not months away. How can you stand on either manifesto, either a Welsh Labour manifesto or a UK Labour manifesto, when you don't agree with either of them?
Well, I believe in party democracy, Adrian, and of course we've had a motion passed in conference, but there's still a long way to go, because the Article 5 process where we create our manifesto has yet to happen. And there's still an opportunity, I hope, for me to make the argument in the party. But of course, if we settle on a position in the manifesto, I will absolutely respect that position, and I will make the case to voters on the doorstep. But I think it's really important that there's a voice in our Labour movement which says many millions of people who vote Labour also voted for Leave in the referendum, and their voices need to be heard. And let's not forget, in the European Parliament elections recently, the Brexit Party did very well. So we need to make sure that we counter those arguments and show that we're a party of compromise and a party of democracy.
All right. Thank you very much for talking to us tonight, Stephen Kinnock. You can go and get your bags back now and get yourself back to Westminster. Thank you very much for talking to us.